Welcome to an all-new episode of St. Louis Presents.
Debbie?
Vern, we've gotten through President's Day, Valentine's Day, Mardi Gras. We're in the Lenten season. Soon it'll be Easter, and then it's barbecue season.
I know.
I guess barbecue season is all year long, though, right?
For me, it is. For me, it is. A great steak. Is it safe to say we have a great show or a delicious show?
Ooh, I know. Maybe we could go through the whole open and not even reference all of the meat on the table and just leave people wondering.
Are we going to try to act like that's not there?
Yes, don't even look at it.
Are those not the finest cuts of meat you've ever seen?
Pretty amazing. We're going to explain a little bit more about that coming up, but we have Gary Crump from Paul's Market in Ferguson with us to tell us more about what's happening in Ferguson and at his shop, and to explain these delicious cuts of meat.
Yes, and we have license collector Mavis Thompson joining us to tell us about all that her job entails.
Right, and you know, I know a few years ago some people were saying it's too difficult to start a business, nobody knows how to go through all the processes and what do you need, and trying to streamline all of that is a really important thing, and we've certainly seen a whole lot of startups and entrepreneurs in St. Louis City, so things must be humming along.
They say St. Louis is one of the best cities to actually start up a business.
It is, and actually we also just had a really great statistic about St. Louis that over the last 10 years we've had the biggest growth in the number of young millennials with college educations moving here, so
awesome.
Hopefully they're all starting businesses. We'll discuss all that and more on the next St. Louis Presents. Stay with us. Market is the biggest little steak store in St. Louis. It's been a fixture in Ferguson since 1960. And even with bad news that's surrounded Ferguson in recent months, Paul's Market is not going anywhere. Gary Crump is the owner of Paul's Market. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for asking us to be here.
Now, first of all, does everybody call you Paul?
No, everybody calls me Gary, that's my name, but my dad's name is Paul, and I do answer to Paul.
Yes, I noticed that you do.
As long as somebody's paying me, I'll answer to almost any name like that, but that's my dad's name.
Now, we're going to ask you about these amazing cuts of meat here in just a moment, but I want to talk a little bit about the store, Gary, because you were not physically affected by the unrest in Ferguson, but of course the whole area was, and business was down for everyone, and you decided that you would just go ahead and make some improvements on the store, invest more in the store, as opposed to, you know, some people might think, oh, people are going to close shop and leave.
Thanks for bringing that point up, too. We were talking about that beforehand, about closing up and leaving. And I just want to make the point that when I hear that from other individuals that come in the store, it's disappointing because it's like there's no faith. And I live there. I've been doing this for 54 years and my family there. It's ingrained in what we do. And that's being a servant. And a servant has the greatest place at the table all the time, I truly believe. And that's what we do. That's what we do at Ferguson. Ferguson celebrated our 100th anniversary in 1994. It's a vibrant town. It's been misrepresented. Tragedies happen everywhere. And it's how we handle that tragedy. We didn't do too good a job with it. And the result of it, though, is that I see a rebirth and a rebuilding, not a rebranding. Because the people that come in my store every day, the people that I see in downtown Ferguson and around the St. Louis community that live here, it's a very dynamic, integrated social group of people. We all have a lot of different opinions, and like Daniel Patrick Monahan, everybody can have their own opinions, but you can't have your own facts. And the fact is, Ferguson is a fantastic place to live and a fantastic place to do business.
Now, I find it disappointing that because of the Ferguson coverage, nationally, people have this skewed perception of what Ferguson is like and the whole St. Louis area. But it's even more disappointing, I think, that people in this area, people who live in the St. Louis area, have this skewed version. And if they would go to Ferguson, they would see what a wonderful and tight-knit community it is, and they would realize why Paul's Market has been where it's been.
We have people risking their lives to actually come up and get this stuff. So
not risking their
great.
lives.
You know,
You're being silly.
It's fantastic. I'm being facetious. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Now, I don't know if we can get any great shots of what we have here, but
see.
Now, this you don't really see things like this in the grocery store because it's all packaged and who knows where it's coming from.
It's going to that way even more so. Things are going to be pre-packaged, pretty much uniform. That's the way it's going. It provides an opportunity for us to be able to deliver to people product of extremely high quality, really reasonable prices with personal service. And I know everybody says, well, come to my place and you'll get personal service. We really do give, that's part of the product, that's part of being a servant, that's part of serving the community. That's who we are. That's who we are in Ferguson. And people will say, well, where do you live? Oh, I live so-and-so street. It's near Paul's Market. I know where that is.
Now, before we run out of time, let's run through quickly here, because I know you said these pork chops came from somewhere locally, right?
Behrman's over in Albers, Illinois, locally sourced pork. It's really nice, not vacuum packaged, it breathes. This is made out of a USDA choice pinwheel steak with some delicious cheese in it and delicately seasoned. Short ribs that you never find around St. Louis, and when you do, they're mostly like they just came from Fairmont. Aged USDA, Black Angus, tenderloins. You can get half-pounders at our store for $7.99 each.
Homemade?
Homemade, oh yeah. This is a bacon and blue cheese bratwurst, absolutely scrumptious.
Gary, I almost called you Paul.
Paul, Gary, I answered to both.
Gary.
I answered to both.
We're getting the timeout signal, but this is just a great example of what you can get at Paul's Market and why people will make the drive from all over the area to get there in Ferguson. Thanks so much, and thanks for investing in Ferguson and staying
Well, thanks for
put.
taking time. Thanks for taking time and helping us.
It's our pleasure, and you see the number up there and the web address as well if you want more information on how to head to Paul's Market. And right now we're going to head to the news desk and see what Vern's got for us.
Thank you, Debbie. The St. Louis Symphony took home a win for the Best Orchestral Performance, winning a Grammy Award for its recording of John Adams' City Noir. The St. Louis Symphony, now in its 135th season, is the second oldest orchestra in the country and considered one of the world's finest by many. This most recent win now brings the Symphony's Grammy total to 7. The Missouri Department of Insurance is educating consumers about the dangers of cyber attacks through a website it created after personal information was compromised in a February attack against Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. The department said those affected will be contacted by the insurer through mail, but warns that any other attempt to contact them will most likely be a scam. Visit insurance.mo.gov/consumer/anthem or anthemfacts.com for more information. Mayor Slay will join Demetrius Johnson and members of IUPAT Painters District Council 58 in support of a program to train local minority candidates for a good job. 17 young men and women have been selected to participate in the first training class, which will teach craft skills and soft skills. Participants who complete the rigorous 14-week course will get help securing employment in union and non-union jobs with contractors. You can learn more about this and other programs at djgivesback.com.
Well, our next guest is usually the first stop for new business owners in the city of St. Louis.
Mavis Thompson, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now, her office works hard to keep current businesses in the city as well as attract new businesses. And I'm feeling really inspired. I don't know about you, because it seems like every time we turn around, there's a new startup, there's some company moving to St. Louis. So, I mean, this is fantastic news over the last couple of years, especially.
Yes. St. Louis is a great place to start a business. We have, of course, in the Midwest, we have good location, you know, river, airport, those sorts of things with resources. But one of the things that we're trying to do in the license collector's office is not only make it a pleasant experience to come and pay your business license taxes, but be polite, efficient, and also to streamline the process with all of the many steps that you have to go through to get a license in the city of St. Louis.
Well, Mavis, how do you actually attract businesses to come to St. Louis and open?
Well, one of the things is basically doing just what we're doing, making sure that it's easy to start up a business, that you get the information that you need, etc. And so when the word gets out that it's a friendly place, that it's easy to do, it's not that complicated, it makes it a more inviting environment for people to come and start a business.
Now, you are fairly new to this office, but you have, already been implementing some changes. Do you seek input from other people? Like, have you gone out to the business community and said, okay, so what is it that's been hard? What's been confusing? How do we make these different adjustments?
Absolutely. Not only do we seek information from the business community, I personally have decided to start a business advisory council, and it's going to be made up not only of elected officials, business owners, union workers, folks like that can give us ideas about how we can do things better.
But not only do you make it a clear path, an easy path to attract businesses, but retention of businesses is part of under your umbrella as well. How do you go about retaining the businesses that we have?
Now, retaining the businesses, basically, we say that it's under our preview, but it's not all up to us. When we go out and we talk to the business owners mainly and ask why they're considering going out of business, most of them say the economy or they just don't have enough money. So some of the things that we've done to retain the businesses, we actually have briefings, forums, as you will, on issues that help them in their business. For instance, when the Affordable Care Act came out, we had a workshop on that to tell them how that would affect their business and insurance. Bonding, we've had one on that. We've also had another one on how to prepare your taxes, especially for small business owners.
Now, with all these young people who are starting up businesses, you have that extra challenge that young people are used to everything's online, everything's got to be easy. I should be able to do it at 2 o'clock in the morning if I want. So, it can't be old school anymore.
Well, that's exactly right. And we are trying to move toward the middle, as you will. We can't do everything all new school because we don't have the resources for the technology that's required. But if we could meet somewhere in the middle, and so those are the things. Of course, you cannot apply as a new business online, but you can come back and do it later on.
What would you say are some of the greatest challenges you have in your current position?
Well, some of the challenges are, of course, some of the laws that we have, they're archaic. They've been in place for a long time. Right now, we have last year, we had 18,000 in some businesses that brought about $59 to $60 million of revenue into the city. But we also had right around 4,000 in some that were delinquent. And so one of the things that we did was actually do a comprehensive business closure policy. And basically, we give you an opportunity. Hey, you're late. Can you pay something on it? You're late again. And so we go all the way up to court with some of these businesses. And because I'm an advocate for business, it's not fair for those businesses that are not in compliance, continually not in compliance, to continue to survive. It's just not fair. They're actually robbing us of the general revenue that we could use to pay for fire, safety, police, schools, things like that.
One last quick question for you. It is my perception that we have lots of new businesses starting up. Do the numbers back that up?
The numbers do back it up. We've had, just looking at the fiscal year, we had 893 businesses that started in the last fiscal year, and the majority of them are owners anywhere from 30 to 54.
Awesome.
That is fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing that information with us. License collector Mavis Thompson, it's been a pleasure having you with us. And if you are starting a business, you can see on the screen right now just some places you can go to get some additional information so you can learn the steps to go through. We hope that you enjoyed this episode of St. Louis Presents.
And we also like to thank all of our guests and thank you at home for watching.
We'll see you next time right here on STL TV.